Do you think you're already familiar with the world around us? Think again. Nature always finds a way to surprise us. Watch today's video to witness some truly magical and unbelievable moments. In Tennant Creek, the entire sky glowed red as a fire tornado spiraled upward, devouring everything in its path, a scene you just can't look away from. Within seconds, the roof of a military building in San Antonio was torn off by a tornado with debris flying like a real wind bomb.
Oh, damn!
Have you ever witnessed the true power of a storm or tornado? Share your experience in the comments below, and don't forget to hit that like button. Herds of cattle pour out from Boma like a living waterfall across the Tarangire savanna. Unbelievable, a twister flips a car right in front of a store. A surprise nighttime visitor drops by the balcony, grabs a slice of apple for takeout, and disappears. A seahorse turns a feather duster worm into its stage pole, performing a dance that catches the attention of the entire ocean.
And it's still
During a heavy rain in Ontario, a bolt of lightning suddenly strikes a car, a moment no one will ever forget. On a flight from Detroit to Austin, Ivy captured a chilling moment as the plane flew right along the edge of a massive storm system. Brilliant green auroras shake hands with the Milky Way, transforming Yosemite into the most enchanting light show on Earth. Want to see the underwater world the way a sea lion sees it, with all its depth and untold secrets? It's not just a battle with fire, it's a testament to the bond between people and the land working together to preserve wildlife. A monstrous fire whirl swallows the Arganil sky. Giant hailstorms pelt Colorado, covering highways like a surprise ice storm. Who would have thought the peaceful scenery would suddenly be replaced by a raging hailstorm? A rare sight, fiery orange sunset colors meet the swirling black mass of a supercell. Unreal. An okapi, often dubbed Africa's unicorn, has just been spotted, bringing new hope for wildlife conservation.
But she has been abducted by aliens.
Unbelievable. The heaviest stick insect in Australia has just been discovered.
Look at this, a damn snake on the street.
What is it doing? What the heck?
A massive snake suddenly slithers onto a car at a red light, a heart-stopping scene for anyone nearby.
Hell no.
Oh no!
Better than her car than mine.
A massive rotating storm system unleashes 70 miles per hour winds and hail, yet the sky above Oklahoma lights up like a surreal painting. A trampoline is hurled through the air during a storm, nearly hitting a man in Lubbock. He's incredibly lucky to be safe. During a thunderstorm, Ireland's nature delivers a dramatic symphony of waves, wind, and gray skies. Can you believe sharks might not be as scary as movies make them out to be, just curious about us? An enchanting sight as water and ice combine, nature transforms Lake Michigan into a rare winter volcano. At first glance, many might mistake it for a log, but in reality, the region's largest saltwater predator is right there in plain sight. Oh no, a car power pole and trees are all knocked down in an instant by violent winds. A convention center has to shut down after the roof is torn off, becoming a dangerous airborne hazard.
Around my car. Well, it's because I left the window open and all the snow.
Oh gosh, that's not a car anymore, it's a four-wheeled mini freezer.
Look at the snow.
So you ready to go? Oh my God.
This is nature's extraordinary power when wind and water unite. Lake Ontario turns into a raging inland sea. Oh wow, those two dogs' fur looks like they're testing industrial hair dryers outdoors. From above, the water surface looks like a sea of floating balls, an initiative that helps Los Angeles save up to 300 million gallons of water a year. Fitz the cat is the definition of a cool cat chilling in a floating cooler on the lake, living fancier than his owner. The Manitoulin ship breaks free from the ice after days of being trapped. What a lucky escape. Fierce nature also turns the restless temple into a one-of-a-kind performance where art and storm become one. You can't help but laugh, can you? Let me know if this raccoon made you smile in the comments. A sharp turn at sea turns the cruise ship's pool into a giant waterfall. Massive spiraling cloud formations off the coast of Mexico dance like a celestial ballet, truly breathtaking. Red crabs totally deserve the title of deep-sea warriors. Which sea creature do you think the turkey enjoyed the most on this trip? Despite harsh conditions, Victoria shines, proving that art can bloom anywhere. Rain pours straight into a casino. Who would dare keep playing?
Cash out, cash out.
Oh my god, we are.
Oh my gosh!
A massive rock collapses at Beanbon Beach, turning a dreamy scene into a heart-stopping moment.
It wasn't even loud. You're fine.
The volcano at La Palma erupts violently, rivers of glowing red lava threatening to engulf the entire island. When lava meets the ocean, it's not just spectacular, it's a living geology lesson in how Earth constantly reshapes itself.
Yeah.
Wildfires have ravaged entire forests, but the moment a turtle is rescued reminds us every creature is worth saving. Who knew nature could sculpt such a magical ice palace? Wow! The massive ice dome at Perito Moreno collapses like a roaring white waterfall, utterly awe-inspiring. Nepal is struck by flash floods and landslides, a harsh lesson that riverside and mountainside constructions need safer designs and monitoring. An unexpected visitor leaves the whole house in panic.
Now, this is going to make things nice and tricky, so I'm going to somehow get, ooh, that's it. Oh, hello, we've got a green tree frog just in here.
No loud noises or violence, just gentle, respectful handling to return a snake to its rightful home. The whole city becomes a river as floodwaters sweep through streets, submerging everything. You're not hearing things, yes, that's water flooding the desert with camels and their owner calmly walking through it.
تضرب السيل طول عرض على صوت الرحول. ما شاء الله تبارك الله.
Who knew a tiny turtle like Waffle would challenge a giant dog like Biscuit? A lone Sika deer frolics across the muddy flats of Pool. Nature is amazing. Did this moment melt your heart? Hit that like. Can you believe it? One of the rarest phenomena, mud spontaneously igniting from microbes glowing in the night in Taiwan. The muddy eruption at Devil's Woodyard created a jaw-dropping scene. One determined remora refuses to let go of a diver's leg in the Solomon Islands. Have you ever seen a sea creature this clingy? Winds at 35 miles per hour and temps dropping to minus 11 degrees Fahrenheit turned Lake Champlain into a frozen wonderland. Surfing atop these massive waves, surfers look like they're touching oceanic heaven. In just a few hours, Dunlogare becomes the ocean's battlefield boats, rocking waves crashing violently. During practice, the Denmark Walpole Women's Football Club girls never imagined they'd be fleeing a storm and unforgettable memory amidst rare weather chaos. During a Bali trip, she thought she was playing with an octopus, but it turned out to be an encounter with a tiny underwater assassin.
Oh my God,
Ready? I'm gonna.
Do you know this animal's name? Drop a comment and let everyone know. These tiny fluff balls spend most of their lives underground, but this warm hug moment melts hearts. Look at these fluffy athletes surfing like pros, adorable, right? Oh no, definitely not the kind of decoration you'd want hanging on your front door. Even in the pouring rain, they hang calmly like nothing's happening at all. A giant bear bows down to a fearless 3-year-old Pomeranian.
I've got water coming in. This is my windshield.
Oh no! On March 23rd, hailstorms shattered sunroofs across south-central Texas as if the sky was striking down on glass rooftops.
Sunroof's busted in.
When storms and hail came together, the Texas sky became a stage for nature's raw power, unpredictable and unrestrained. Hailstones as large as golf balls slammed into Texas streets, turning the city into a testing ground of icy bullets. No one dared step outside.
Good Lord.
I still shiver remembering when a giant hailstone smashed through a window and landed in the living room. Not science fiction, but a real afternoon in Texas. Each stone hammered the backyard like the beat of war drums, an ear-splitting battle between the sky and the ground, with no one wanting to be caught in between.
Oh, there goes the umbrella.
As a storm swept through Rock Hill, an umbrella flew into the air, adding even more drama to an already chaotic scene. In South Carolina, large hailstones fell so hard they cracked windshields, turning the streets into a maze of chaos. In Iowa, debris was sent flying as a violent storm tore through the streets, turning the entire roadway into a battleground of wind and rain. I once thought parking under a tree was safe until I saw what happened in Omaha. Winds reaching 90 miles per hour snapped a massive tree limb, narrowly missing a nearby car.
Oh. Just missed it.
Tropical storm. Debbie slammed into southwest Florida, unleashing heavy rains and fierce winds that stripped away the region's usual calm. Lately, Iowa seems frozen in a deep winter sleep with blizzards growing stronger, blanketing roads, rooftops, and every inch of land in snow. In Calhoun County, Iowa, the snow fell so heavily it swallowed the world in a blinding whiteout with no end in sight. In Kansas, strong winds whipped the snow into swirling waves, painting the sky with icy brushstrokes. I used to think farms were sturdy, unshakable places until I saw the storm that ripped through Gordo, Alabama, reducing a family's home to rubble in minutes. In Emporium, Pennsylvania, rain and wind poured down in tandem, turning the small town into a chaotic symphony of nature's power. I've waited out storms at gas stations before, but in western Georgia, cars huddled under the canopy like they were hiding from something completely out of control. Northern Connecticut wasn't spared either as tropical storm winds and rain swept through neighborhoods, pressing pause on everyday life.
I don't ever do a live video, but you guys have to see this. This is South Carolina.
In western New York, floodwaters from Debbie surged through streets like a liquid avalanche, swallowing everything in its path.
There was just about 100 hay bales that went down here. This pine tree is going to be next.
The British Virgin Islands nearly disappeared under sheets of white rain, sky, sea, and horizon melting into one. At a music festival in England, Storm, Lillian made an uninvited entrance, bringing chaos to the stage, the sound system, and the crowd. Storm Yagi brought traffic to a complete halt, leaving deserted highways in the middle of total turmoil. I watched in shock as sparks exploded from power lines in Houma, and my first thought was, in storm season, any unchecked equipment could become a serious threat. If you find these moments powerful, feel free to send a super thanks. Your support means the world and helps us keep going. On the coast of North Carolina, relentless rain poured from the storm like a waterfall, blinding visibility and casting a heavy gray over the shoreline. Lightning slashed across the night sky like a warning from the heavens, a stark reminder that nature is never truly gentle and never fully under control. Hurricane Helene didn't just bring heavy rain and strong winds, it erased the calm and replaced it with a merciless storm. I once booked a flight right as a storm made landfall, so if you plan to travel, always check the weather first. A single click can save you from a lot of unnecessary trouble. In Tampa, a rare water bridge appeared when rising water met storm winds, a striking sight you don't see every day. Along the southwest coast of Wales, massive waves rose like moving mountains, the ocean no longer gentle but a wild dancer. A trampoline suddenly went airborne on the street thanks to Hurricane Ashley's winds, and if you see flying objects, it's best to step aside. Taiwan faced one of the strongest storms in decades. Wind howled, rain poured, and the world around seemed redrawn in just a few hours. Heavy snow in Colorado Springs buried the city under a white blanket so quiet that familiar streets nearly disappeared. At Denver International Airport, as the blizzard struck, crews worked non-stop to keep the runways from vanishing under the snow. Seeing cars in Ontario buried under thick snow, I thought calling it a blanket is too kind. No one would want to crawl under something that cold. Satellite images captured the birth of a massive storm off the west coast of North America, bringing fierce winds, pounding rain, and heavy snow that put the entire region on alert. At Half Moon Bay, rows of trees fell like matchsticks under the storm's relentless force. In Evansville, ice gripped the city until the storm-struck power lines burst into flames, painting fire across a frozen landscape. In Glasgow, a warehouse collapsed under 90-mile-per-hour winds, a stark reminder that nature always finds ways to humble us. In Ireland, the strongest storm in decades didn't just scatter belongings. A park bench even walked across the street as if looking for shelter of its own. In In New York, dense storm clouds covered the skyline, transforming the lively city into a shadowy, mysterious scene. In Louisiana, exploding power lines lit the streets during the storm, but drivers were lucky to avoid what could have been a serious accident. A tornado struck Palm Beach Gardens, shattering windows and turning the neighborhood into chaos as if the whole community had been shaken awake. I once made the mistake of opening the door during heavy rain, but after watching Storm Fury replayed on my doorbell camera in Des Moines, I realized staying inside is always the safer choice. I once waited a whole week for a big soccer match, so when flooding forced the Germany-Denmark game to be postponed, I understood the disappointment of the fans that day. A powerful storm hit Ontario County in northern New York, plunging hundreds of homes into darkness while daily life suddenly came to a halt. In Gaithersburg, cameras showed trees torn apart by a tornado. The screen itself shook as nature decided to change everything in an instant. In the middle of a storm, a koala clung tightly to a tree in the forest, almost as if saying, "This is my home and I'm not leaving." Over Spokane, a massive shelf cloud moved slowly across the sky like nature painting its own masterpiece stroke by stroke. If this scene feels as magical to you as it did to me, don't forget to leave a like for the sky's incredible performance. In a small Kansas town, the sky glowed pink as lightning flashed an image so striking it made everyone pause to take it in. I once sat at a red light in Kansas City, but I had never seen snowfall so thick that even the street signs ahead disappeared from view. In Texas, a tiny dust devil spun to life in a backyard, twirling around as if putting on a private show for the security camera. In Des Moines, pea-sized hail clattered on rooftops and streets, shattering the afternoon calm with nature's own rhythm. On the streets of Rolla, Missouri, tornado winds and heavy rain arrived together, filling the neighborhood with noise and chaos that people could only try to escape. Standing before nature's fury once made me realize this is not punishment, but Earth's quiet reminder. Take care of me before it's too late. In Oklahoma, lightning struck a flagpole, lighting up the entire area in a split second, a vivid sign of the sky's immense power. When the storm hit Dubai, it left no room for calm, turning the entire city into a cloud of dust and swallowing everything in its path. When a black object flew across the Irish sky during Storm Isha, I could only say, it looks just like a Dementor from Harry Potter. For a moment, nature felt just like the movies. Waves more than 30 feet high pounded the Northern California coast, as if the ocean was unleashing all its force with each strike on the shore. In New Jersey, heavy rain forced water to surge back out of storm drains and onto the streets, a sight no one wants to see and a warning about city infrastructure. During Storm Pia, a Christmas tree was bent like a small leaf, no longer a symbol of peace but part of nature's fierce performance. In western Maine, after historic flooding, the transportation system nearly vanished, familiar roads left behind only eroded ground. Storm Babet made rivers in eastern Scotland overflow without hesitation. Homes by the water suddenly turned into temporary islands. At the Maryland Zoo, a giraffe seemed to enjoy the rain, lifting its head and stretching tall as if performing for the sky. When Storm Lee passed through Massachusetts, the seals at Chatham Fish Pier looked like they were having fun, treating the storm like playtime in a restless ocean. I once thought rainbows and lightning could never appear together until Utah surprised me with a scene both dazzling and fierce. Swirling clouds over Reno, Nevada moved like a painted story in the sky, hiding the next chapter of a storm about to begin. A double rainbow stretched across southern Oklahoma like a mythical bridge between storm and sunshine, a sight that left everyone speechless. In the far north, the aurora shone so brightly that even seasoned chasers said, "This is the most beautiful display I've ever seen." After watching winds drive huge waves into seaside homes, I began to think perhaps living by the ocean isn't as romantic as I once believed. In North Texas, a giant dust column stretched from the ground into the sky, a reminder that nature always knows how to show its power. Sudden weather forced a flight to Monterey to make an emergency landing, another clear sign that the skies can be unpredictable. A lightning bolt struck a tree, turning it into a flickering torch, nature's greeting and warning in its own language. In Salt Lake City, a rainbow and lightning appeared together in the sky, a perfect mix of gentle beauty and raw force. On the Yucatan Peninsula, the evening sky lit up with non-stop lightning, turning the whole region into a stage of stormy light. I was in Nashville that day, and though Taylor Swift's show was postponed by lightning, the crowd still cheered loudly. The feeling was truly unforgettable. Even as Storm Babet roared over Scotland, a rainbow stretched quietly across Aberdeen as if nature whispered a message of comfort. After the snowstorm, hills in northern central California wore a coat of pure white, an unexpected gift from above. I was once stuck in traffic in Flagstaff during such a snow, streets buried, cars frozen in place, and me just sitting watching the cold swallow everything. On the M62 near Littleborough, heavy snow covered the highway until vehicles looked frozen in time, the scene like something from a survival movie. A small super thanks from you is a big encouragement for us to keep sharing moments like these. Queensland's sea roared as Tropical Storm Alfred howled, the wind screamed, and the waves rolled as if swallowing the horizon. In Minneapolis, a familiar waterfall turned into a grand ice sculpture crafted by winter's own hands. I once dreamed of seeing sled dogs race through the snow, and when they dashed across the white streets of Salt Lake City, it felt like reliving a childhood winter dream. A magical ring of light appeared as the sun broke through thin layers of icy clouds, turning the sky into a painting. The storm slammed into Central California's coast, turning the San Lorenzo River into a racetrack for daring surfers. When snow covered Arizona, wild turkeys ran across the fields like school kids scattering to avoid a surprise test. In central Colorado, a cat stepped hesitantly into the snowstorm. Its eyes seemed to say, "I didn't sign up for this kind of winter." Seeing homes in western Minnesota buried in snow reminded me of that one winter when the whole town lived in white, holding only to hope. A rebellious waterfall shot upward along the coast of Wales when Storm Debbie turned the laws of nature into a joke. A ring camera captured the force of nature as powerful winds swept through South Carolina on March 31st. A blizzard blanketed the Sierra Nevada, an awe-inspiring sight, but also full of challenges. The ceiling suddenly collapsed in the middle of a heavy downpour, turning everything upside down in an instant. In Kingwood, Texas, a pickup truck got stuck under a trailer during a torrential rainstorm.
Is everybody okay?
Hopefully, no one was injured.
Is everybody okay?
Rescue crews rushed to free a car trapped in the flood. Have you ever witnessed something like this? A tense and chilling moment as nature showed its fierce power. A fascinating lesson on how nature can surprise us at any moment. Oh no, that car just went through a thrill ride without even signing up for it.
Holy crap, we're getting some weather here.
A fierce storm hit with strong winds, leaving no time to react. Stay indoors and stay safe.
Goodbye.
Glad the house isn't damaged. Well, hopefully.
People scrambled for cover as a storm swept through the Walmart parking lot in Round Rock, Texas. Look at that, a giant wave like a towering wall of water engulfed the entire area. Never leave outdoor items unsecured in strong winds. Nature might just reorganize them for you. On March 31st, chaos struck the Cyclades as flooding forced schools and roads to shut down. Oh my God, what a heartbreaking scene, hoping life returns to normal for everyone soon. A bridge in East Tennessee was swept away by heavy floodwaters from Hurricane Helene, leaving nothing but empty space.
There went the 107 bridge.
Towards Canmore, just west of Calgary. We're probably about
Alberta's
20 minutes
highway
east
turned
of
into a
Canmore
massive
here.
ice rink as a
We've got
snowstorm
pile
caused a
of,
series of crashes.
on the scene. Oh yeah, loss of substantial damage here. Cops are on the scene. Oh yeah, loss of substantial damage here.
The love for sports can conquer even the harshest blizzards. The sea turned violent, but thanks to the quick response of rescue teams, passengers were brought safely ashore. Massive waves crashed into St. Julian's Bay, disturbing the surface and causing major traffic disruptions. This playful pup seems to be searching for something, but what could it be? Hard to guess. The car owner must really love snow so much that they decorated the entire car with it. Sometimes just a little creativity can lead to a truly memorable experience. Keechee Falls erupted like a wild dance after heavy snowfall and torrential rain. A traffic light suddenly walked itself across the street, leaving passers-by stunned. Have you ever seen a ship quite like this one? In Madrid, a storm turned outdoor dining areas into chaos as umbrellas toppled and flew in the wind. If you must drive in conditions like these, slow down, keep your distance, and stay home if you can. Amid the gray storm clouds, a small rainbow appeared, bringing hope in the heart of the storm. In the Drake Passage, 30-40-foot waves tested the courage of every passenger aboard. A dangerous crash happened right before our eyes. Thankfully, no one was hurt. A strange tornado during Storm Fergus forced an entire Irish village to brace for disaster. This video shows trees in Galveston swaying violently as powerful gusts swept through Texas. Rushing waters raced through like an uninvited competition ready to sweep everything in their path.
How did this fix it?
Heavy rain in Roswell forced residents to evacuate to the roof of the convention center, a truly unbelievable scene. Wow. A powerful gust of wind turned a streetlight pole into an accidental acrobat right in the middle of the road. Storm Bilal brought fierce winds and torrential rain, transforming the streets of Mauritius into a chaotic parking lot. For fishermen out at sea, it takes more than just nets, it takes nerves of steel. Massive waves crashed along Florida's coast, a majestic but dangerous display of nature's power. The coast of Brittany turned into a giant milkshake party as sea foam covered everything in sight. The village of Bunmahan looked like a bizarre snowy wonderland with sea foam blanketing every street. Strong winds launched a trampoline sky high, turning it into a flying athlete that landed on power lines.
That is insane.
North Alabama became the playground for wind and rain, putting on a dramatic storm showdown.
tropical winds right there.
Always check the weather before traveling. Safety should come first in extreme conditions. Oh my God! A raging fire sent a massive black smoke column into the sky. Hopefully everyone evacuated in time. A thrill ride only for those who truly crave adrenaline and the unknown.
I have never seen a
Nature has a way of stopping us in our tracks to admire its unpredictable beauty. A torrential downpour hit Florida's Gulf Coast, flooding streets and bringing life to a halt. Strong winds ripped the canopy off a gas station in Quebec, a powerful reminder of how extreme weather can strike. In southwest Iceland, a photographer captured the rare moment a funnel-shaped cloud formed over a volcano. Fuego Volcano put on a special effects show erupting with ash and spectacular volcanic lightning. When lava met the ocean, steam burst into the air, unleashing an intense thermal reaction. Always stay alert when on the road, stay focused. Drive carefully and follow the rules to ensure everyone's safety. Locals embraced the first big winter storm by hitting the slopes, creating a joyful snowy scene. Heavy snowfall in northern New York made driving incredibly tough. Here's hoping every driver got home safe. Thick snow drastically reduced visibility, and one car ended up resting in a ditch. Luckily, no one was inside. Storm Otto rocked ships in the North Sea, generating fierce waves offshore. Dozens of shipping containers vanished in massive waves off the east coast of Australia, a stark reminder of nature's destructive potential. Strong winds battered the shoreline with waves relentlessly crashing into Lake Michigan's barriers, an awe-inspiring display of raw force. Wow, wow. Once again, nature leaves us speechless. In Queensland, dogs were rescued from rising floodwaters, a truly heartwarming moment. Floodwaters overwhelmed Kentucky. Swallowing everything in sight, seen from above, it looked like a chaotic painting consumed by water. Never underestimate the danger of storms. Always seek shelter and safeguard your belongings. In Hawaii, powerful winds tore through landscapes and ripped roofs apart, leaving destruction in their wake. Enormous ice mounds floated down the Niagara River, creating a surreal and majestic winter scene. Severe flooding swept away coastal roads in North Carolina, turning the area into a scene of utter chaos. Once again, Mother Nature challenged us with wild, unpredictable special effects we could never expect. When traveling through mountain passes, always check the weather forecast and stay alert to avoid dangerous situations. Hurricane Zeta slammed into Louisiana with powerful winds and heavy rain, tearing off roofs and leaving a trail of destruction. A dream vacation can quickly turn into a nightmare when storms strike unexpectedly. Always check the forecast before you go. On a slick sheet of ice, a car's tires slid out from under it while the driver struggled to maintain control, a dangerous reminder to drive cautiously in winter weather. Objects went flying in the powerful thunderstorm. When the wind kicks up, nothing is safe. After the storm passed, the city fell into an eerie silence, not just because the wind had stopped, but because of the lingering sense of loss. Never underestimate the power of a storm. Always choose a safe place to park your car. A quiet moment right before the chaos strikes. A winter storm blanketed the central region, bringing bone-chilling winds and heavy snowfall. A flock of Colorado geese huddled close together to weather the cold, staying warm and maybe sharing a little gossip. Absolutely breathtaking, a scene that leaves everyone in awe. Mount Sinabung erupted, painting the sky with a massive mushroom-shaped cloud. A giant worm dug endlessly beneath the deep sea. What could it be searching for? Busy bees buzzed around, composing their own melody from the hum of their wings. Everything seemed normal until a spider egg sac burst, releasing hundreds of tiny spiders like a miniature army. A stubborn crow clung tightly to the windshield wiper as if determined to take over the whole car. Thick dust engulfed Oklahoma's highway, turning day into a hazy twilight and bringing traffic to a standstill.
Yeah, Cindy, very unusual looking. I'm gonna go ahead and go in because the blob is coming to get us.
There it is.
Oh, it's nice and cold though. Ouch. I feel static.
A storm on New Zealand's South Island tore through the earth, sweeping away a bridge in the blink of an eye.
It was definitely a scary situation.
A heart-stopping moment in North Carolina just seconds after a Fox 46 reporter stepped away, floodwaters swallowed everything.
Just right here, live on TV, we saw the road collapse, that same road that we were just standing on seconds ago. So thank God that we are...
The collapse of a suspension bridge over the Tinau River was more than just material loss. It was a wake-up call about disaster preparedness. In Brazil, raging floods swept everything away, leaving people staring small, stunned, and powerless. At Lake Erie, Pennsylvania, an ice flood surged in like nature's way of reminding us that normal weather no longer exists. In Alexandria, ice and mud joined forces to turn city streets into rivers chaos that no one saw coming. On March 31st, Cyclades was pummeled by a massive storm. Rising floodwaters paralyzed every road and slowed life to a crawl. A family in Texas accidentally captured the shocking moment their ceiling collapsed just after a downpour, a terrifying sight to witness. In Cyclades, with floodwaters still, high schools shut down and roads froze in place, nature had taken full control of the stage. On the morning of March 30th, downtown Miami looked like it had sunk into a giant aquarium, and this time it wasn't a Hollywood set. In Texas, cars floated through flooded streets, a dramatic yet heartbreaking reminder of human helplessness before nature. Storm Christoph left a herd of sheep stranded in freezing water in Wales, but luckily a miracle arrived just in time.
Del Pilcomayo, del Angosto, ahí está aguas calientes o aguas termales. Miren, ahí lo tienen. ¿Lo ven?
Bolivia was submerged in floodwaters, affecting hundreds of families, once again exposing the consequences of weak infrastructure.